Damn these Biloxi blues, it happens every night. And I ain't never met a riverboat dealer that could ever be a friend of mine.
I have
Summer heat
not.
never treats me kind, it leaves trouble on my mind. So I'm bidding farewell, putting in my notes, and I'll see you
Sing this part right here if you know it.
This highway.
Like if you're going down the road, people look at you like you're crazy. You just,
I don't care.
no, I don't care.
Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires.
Right to the hook right here.
Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get there.
Low budget live, not so live. And what's up, you bunch of low lifers? We're hanging in the Low Budget Live Bar and Grill here in beautiful Middle Tennessee. And this is the podcast for August the 2nd. And you low lifers are showing up and showing out. I got to say thank you, thank you, thank you. 15,000, we're over that hill now, but 15,000 this past weekend on the YouTubes and the subscriber world. And that, man, that sounds like not a lot when you look at people with 100,000, 400,000, a million. But 15,000 people would barely fit in the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm grateful that many people have clicked that button over the short period of time that I've been doing this. And it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Boats and Pros this week with James Watson, the outpouring of just positivity and awesome comments and views. You guys watch the heck out of it. Awesome. So I just wanted to open the show with that bit of gratitude. It's like Boats and Pros was an idea that I had, and I'm so glad that Tanner Lyons, I get to work with Tanner, and I'm glad that the pros want to do it too. You know, guys like James take time out of their schedule. Guys like Randy, Hal, Jason Christie, Jordan Lee, Gerald Schwindel, they've all been a part of Boats and Pros. Carl Jacobson, can't forget Carl, that's one of my favorite episodes, but so many of y'all this is your favorite. So we've got 5 more. And we got to film them, but 5 more slated for this year and for the rest of the year, take us through. So about 1 a month. That's what we're going to try to average. And then there'll be a little break, and then we'll have more coming up very soon. So thank y'all so much. Hey, comment below real quick. If you're a Boats and Pros watcher and you're watching this, comment below. Would you like to see, because I'm kind of doing them like seasons, and it's hard, right? Like they're very hard to shoot. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy, effort, and obviously funding. And that's a big part of it. TH Marine, of course, has been a sponsor of Boats and Pros. And that's the tricky part, because it costs a lot more than it does to, make a normal fishing video, right? So I would like to hear from y'all whether you would like to see 1 per month for like 6 months, or do like 2 a month for like 6 months, like cram them in and then wait 6 months. I don't know, how much Boats and Pros are you needing out there in your life? I got an idea for another series too that I'm going to bring y'all's way very soon with a good friend of mine that will remain nameless right now. We're going to try to film some of those this fall as well. So lots of things coming, but I just want to say thank you, and let me know, how would you, like a TV series, it's once a week for, 12 weeks or something. I don't know, just it's different because it's YouTube, and obviously you guys matter. So I want to know what you think about that. All right, so thank you so much. It's been awesome. We're getting in on like 30,000 views, which is a lot for me, and on the Watson video. A lot of new Watson fans out there. I was impressed to see that. I actually texted them. I was like, man, a lot of people didn't like you until Boats and Pros. So super grateful. Want to say thank you. Got to say a quick thank you to our sponsors. We're going to start it off with StarTron like we always do, because StarTron kicks that ethanol in the teeth. We're coming up on that time of year where some folks are going to start putting away, here in about a month or two, you're going to start putting away the bass boat, start getting in that side-by-side, hanging some deer stands, things like that. So make sure if you're going to store anything, you put you some StarTron in it, whether that's your lawn equipment, chain saws, your weed eaters, your log splitter, whatever. Little dab will do you. Kicks ethanol in the teeth. StarTron, Starbright, bringing you Low Budget Live for going on 4 years. We're nearing the 4-year anniversary of this insanity. I got to look at the exact date, but I'm definitely going to look at that and try to do something for that. But StarTron been on board since day one. They got my back. They're good folks down there in Florida, and we appreciate their support of LBL. The folks at Sims, my favorite slogan in fishing, some of my favorite people in fishing, and definitely some of my favorite gear. The folks at Sims Fishing Products, bringing you Low Budget Live, bringing you quality outdoor gear, from rain suits like the Pro Dry to that Solar Flex hoodie that I wear way too much. Just ask the Triple Threat. She will tell you that. I wear it way too much. Why are you wearing that shirt again? Well, because I can. And I have worn out the double haul button-up shirts. It's what I wear on the MPFL sets, where I wore at ICAST every day. It's what I wear to like dinners with my wife. I just, I'm not a fashionista. I'm not a fashion guru, but I do know what I like, and I do like Sims Fishing Products. And I'm here to remind all you low-lifers that you get one life. Fish it well. The folks at Pro Guide Batteries, bringing you LBL this year, powering up that Express X21. First part of the year with some 31 AGMs. Now I got their new lithium batteries. They weigh like 20-something pounds. It's crazy. Just actually got those installed here in the last couple days. Haven't got to take them out of the water yet, but I'm looking forward to trying those this week. But make sure to go check out Pro Guide Batteries, and if you want a little break, a little old discount, you can use LBL10, code LBL10 at ProGuideBatteries.com. Get yourself fixed up for good right there with some power. Battery issues just piss me off. I've had so many of them over the years, and this year's been awesome. A lot of y'all ask what I'm running for a cranking battery, 31 AGM as well there. And I'm still going to be running that as a cranking battery. A lot of motor companies actually void their warranty if you use a lithium cranking battery. From what I've heard, from what I'm hearing out there. Last but certainly not least, hang the banner right here. Look, there it is. Hang the banner. Express Boats, Hot Springs, Arkansas. The fine folks at Express, the official boat of Low Budget Live in the Traveling Circus, the X21 with the 250 show. And I just put a video up. If you didn't see it, go watch it. A lot of you have watched it already. But go check that out. I took it way up a creek. I get a lot of questions about how shallow that thing will draft, how shallow. And I came to the conclusion like 10 inches. I did not, when I filmed this, I did not have my lithiums in yet. Did not have my lithiums in, but I had a full tank of gas. So was running pretty heavy in the back end. But I would say 10 inches for me is going to be about where I can get. But go check that video out. I showed just how good the thing is against current. And look, there were some comments on the video. They're like, this is nothing but a boat commercial. Well, these people support me. It's obvious. Express Boats, they're a sponsor, but they're more than that to me. They're friends, and I'll go even further. They're like family. They're really good people. And beyond that, like, I will never, and I appreciate y'all listening to the sponsor plugs on this show every week. And if you fast forward through them, that's okay too. But I will never run a product I don't believe in. When I ran Ranger boats, I believed in Ranger boats. I still think they're good boats. Like my life has just gone in a way that I'm with Express. And what I said in this video repeatedly, and you can go back and watch it if you haven't, is like, it's a fit for me. It's a perfect fit for me because it's that perfect combination of an aluminum boat and like the width of a glass boat. It rides like a glass boat. Like, it will freak you out if you've never been in an Express boat. And so many of the negative comments on these videos are like, yeah, you can't take that thing through rough water. I'll beat you there. Well, dude, I've been in a glass boat multiple times in rough water, and I've been in my Express this year in a lot of rough water situations. You ain't getting there no faster than me. Like, you're just not. It's a 21-foot boat, 96-inch beam. It's a beast. It's a beast. I can fish offshore. People are like, blows around in the wind. No, it doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. I don't have any negatives on the boat. Like, I just don't. I know that sounds like a sales pitch. Sue me. Like, it's not. Like, I wouldn't sit on here. Y'all know I'm honest, transparent about as much as I can be. To a fault at times, I would not talk about this week in and week out and make videos like that if I didn't care about the brand, care about the product. And obviously, they back their product up. So Express Boats, building excitement since 1966 and bringing you LBL. All right, enough said. I had to get on a little rant. I had some, it just always, and y'all know how I get with commenters, but it just always, I bust my butt to try to make videos to show you, like maybe you're in the market for a boat. Maybe hey, I got some questions about what that Express does. Because I get a ton of interest in the boat, ton of comments and questions, a lot of times, a lot of messages. And so like, I keep that in mind when I'm on the water, when it's 112, making videos like I do, so appreciate all the kind folks out there. There's always a few sour grapes in the bunch, obviously, but that have never ridden in one, or you know what I'm saying. They would never run one though. Yeah, right. So Express Boats, we appreciate them very, very much. Got a good guest today. A friend of mine we're going to talk to here in just a minute, but first I've got a few things I want to ramble on here. First off, the MLFLW Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, former FLW Tour, RIP, FLW Tour. They just had their finale, and I got to say congratulations to my old buddy Eeyore, Michael Neal. Been knowing that guy for a while. He got him an AOY. He got him an AOY title over there at the Pro Circuit, and narrowly edged out Skeet Reese, who wouldn't have been caught dead fishing FLW a few years ago. But how things shift in life. It's good to see Skeet catching them again though, and up there. But it's odd. Cole Floyd coming in third, Clavian Johns winning Rookie of the Year there. Congrats to all those guys. I still got a lot of buddies over there, and it's awesome to see them doing well. Cole Floyd is an up and comer in this sport that's going to be, he's going to be hard to handle for years to come. In my opinion, I fished around him some. He's a good kid. And, you're hanging in there with names like that. You look at their top 10 in the AOY standings. 5 of the 10 were all BPT guys, right? Avena, Justin Lucas had a hell of a year over there. Cody Meyer. And it's, of course, Michael and Skeet. And for me, man, this goes for the Opens as well, and I want to get into this with our guests, but should those guys, y'all comment on this, shoot me a message or whatever, Instagram, if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, but should those guys be allowed to fish that feeder system? This is how you qualify for BPT. Now, I'm not a guy that says this guy should be banned or barred from this tournament. I'm not that dude at all. Like local tournaments are like, keep these pros out. Like I'm more the merrier, whatever. You're going to have to fish it against these guys at the next level. But I do find it strange that this is that feeder arm to the, top of the heap. We are Bass Fishing Bass Pro Tour. And you allow those guys, however many want to sign up, to fish it. Friends of mine that fish FLW have zero problem with it. I will say that. Like, they're just like, whatever. Doesn't matter. But when you look and they do win AOY, whatever prize that comes with now, I'm not sure. But, I don't know. It's odd for me. It's the same way in the Opens. Like right now you look at the Northern Opens, like Polinick sits on top. Now, granted, they'll go down the list the same way the Pro Circuit will to get whoever gets to step up next. I'm not even sure how it works to go to Bass Pro Tour. But you look there and I don't know, man. I don't know if that should be, because ultimately these guys are great anglers, and them being in the field does cost somebody probably an area that they might have been able to be successful and possibly win a tournament, because they're going to find everything, obviously. Not saying they're better than the guys on the pro circuit or in the Bassmaster Opens, because God knows they're not. These are some of the hardest tournaments to compete in, do well in. Those guys are absolute stone cold killers. I'm just saying, should it be allowed? Should it be allowed? If you're fishing the Opens, do you want to compete against those guys at the elite level? Personally, if that's what you're trying to qualify, I don't know. I always think that's strange a little bit, but I understand why they do it as well, because it's opportunities to win money, that kind of thing. They're trying to feed their family, so I get that as well. Just let me know. I'm kind of like, in the middle. Like, it's weirder for me, I believe, in the pro circuit for those guys to, because they're just dumping more entry fee money. They're having to pay it at BPT. They're paying big entry fees. Of course, they're winning big, but some of the guys that I named on that list I've talked to, and they actually enjoy the pro circuit more than the Bass Pro Tour. They've won more money. They enjoy the 5-fish format a little bit more. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. I know you will. That's for sure. Another thing that happened, I got to say congratulations to Cody Pike. I don't know Cody, but Cody won that event up there at the St. Lawrence River. Absolutely smashed on him. My old buddy Matt Steffen finishes second. Matt is an absolute freaking, he's one of the most consistent anglers in this entire country. And if you don't believe me, just go look up his stats. Matt is a great dude to boot, Wisconsin angler, but he finished second. And another one of my buddies, Joey Fuentes, the most fun name to say in bass fishing. Joey was leading it going into the final day. I could not have been pulling for anybody more than I was for Joey, and it just slipped away from him on the final day, and he ended up third. But Joey's a good dude. Fished co-angler when I did over there, and then fished pro when I did. And Joey's one of the good guys, runs around with Larry Nixon. He actually was Larry's co-angler. Like, how cool is that? For years, he got to get a up close and personal look at the legend, freaking Larry Nixon, the general. So wasn't able to get it done up there. I've been texting him like, dude, come on, win it. Let's do an LBO. But, Joey, you didn't win, so you're not on here this week. Just messing, buddy. We need to do one soon. And then last but not least from the pro circuit before we move on is hashtag Coxwatch. 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 And another top 10 on the St. Lawrence River. The Florida smallmouth guru. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. I'm telling you right now, that dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's incredible to me. I mean, this guy grows up in Florida, and now he's like St. Clair last year. Just catching them. Same thing at the St. Lawrence. I'm going to, I pissed everybody at Bassmaster off when I had him on, apparently, to talk about how he's going to get DQ'd. Just to let him tell his side of it. And I'm hearing that through the grapevine, and I apologize for helping out a friend of mine, guys. But they probably made the right call not letting him in, because he would have top 10'd it too, and then everybody would have really been whining. Because he apparently has the St. Lawrence River freaking dialed, man. Holy crap. Coxwatch. I love some John Cox. Got to be careful how you say that. That's for sure. But I talked to a Bassmaster lead angler this week about that situation with John, and they disagreed with me on having on my stance on letting him fish. And look, rules are rules. I want to reiterate that one more time. John's cool with it now. He made the freaking classic. But I heard through the grapevine a couple folks at Bass were upset that I had him on. But here's the thing: you can't love honesty, integrity, and transparency only when I talk about things that you want me to talk about. That's just how it works, man. Like, if I'm going to call it, I'm going to call it, right? So it is what it is. It's what it is. Another major tournament this week, the Bassmaster Open up on Lake Oneida, the Northern Open, the second Northern Open in the Opens Purgatory that I like to call it, because damn, that is murderer's row. 200-something boats in every tournament. It's tough, man. And I got to say congratulations to Bill Perkins. I don't know Bill. I think he only jumped in that event, which I do have a problem with. I will say that. The cherry picking that goes on in the Opens and not fishing all three, because you cost yourself a classic berth, Bill. You should have gone to the James River. I understand why people don't do it timing-wise, but I do feel like Bass needs to make it where you got to sign up for all three. You got to fish all three. We've seen that time and time again over the years, and I think and I think first and second place were only fishing that event, or they're only fished that one and maybe the St. Lawrence. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to fish two of the three, but I think you need to fish all three. I do. No cherry picking. If it's your home lake, fish the one before it. I mean, you're really stupid if you don't, because it costs you a damn classic berth. And my thing is, maybe Bill signed up for James River and didn't get in. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he tried because those definitely filled up above and beyond. But I'd like to see something like that where you got to sign up for all three. You can't just fish one. FLW did that years ago. They used to let people cherry pick in the final tournaments of the year, and you'd have locals get in and win or do really well. And then they made it where you have to fish all of the events. I think that's a rule that needs to be put in place. Definitely a tougher Lake Oneida than we have seen. Text our guest real fast. Let's see here. Text our guest right now. But definitely a tougher Oneida than we've seen in the past. One of the lakes that I used to just dream about fishing, I never have had a chance to get on Oneida. And seemed to be a little bit tougher. Top end weights were fine, kind of what we've seen, but it definitely was a little bit tougher. Shout out to Mike Iaconelli. Holy crap. I heard him say in a video, 10 top 10s or 11 top 10s now at freaking Oneida. Like, come on. He says, I consider my home lake. He lives however far from there. But Iaconelli, interestingly enough, talked about Brandon Polnick being up there. Brandon also caught him at Oneida, of course. He's a smallmouth guru. But Iaconelli's second in those Northern Open points going into the St. Lawrence River. If he gets an Elite Series invite, what will he do? I don't know. You never know with Iaconelli at all, in the least. You never know. Never. But it's definitely something worth watching in September when they go up there to the St. Lawrence River. Can he pull it off? That's the only division he's fishing. Now, I know he's fishing a lot of kayak tournaments, but that's been the big wild card question in bass fishing this year. Is like, what's Ike going to do? What's Ike going to do? And we'll see. It's interesting to see his name up there, right? Like, second place, man. He has a pretty good one at St. Lawrence. He'll be in that top three. So decisions will have to be made. And who knows, man? Ike's just living free and easy. He wasn't at the Classic. He wasn't at ICAST. He's just roaming the country in a camper, living his best life, kayak fishing. So maybe he doesn't want any part of like big time tournament fishing anymore. But I feel like he's a guy that's so addicted to it that, man, if they dangle that carrot in front of him again, I don't know, he don't bite. Be interesting to see. But he's if he does, he's earning it back. He's qualifying. So today's guest is a really good friend of mine. He's been on the podcast a ton, especially in the early years of doing LBL. We did some lives with this young man. He is a former roommate of mine when I fished the tour, and he has had so many near misses for the Elite Series. Had moved over to FLW, fished over there, had some success, some top 10s. In my opinion, I've known this dude a long time, since he was a very young man. He's one of the brightest spots in this sport, and he just had a heartbreaking finish at Oneida, finishing in third place, had an opportunity to win, and I could not be more bummed for him. We're going to get him on the phone to talk about the Opens and everything else going on in the life of Sammy George.
What's going on?
What's up, Sam George? How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm all right. I am sitting on the shores of the St. Lawrence River in Clayton, New York.
That doesn't suck, buddy. That doesn't suck.
I know it. This is one of my favorite places in the world. They can have the beach. I'll stay here.
I agree. I've been there a few times, and I agree. Are you putting in some time before that last Open? Is that what you're doing up there?
I'm actually not. I don't even have a boat with me. My fiance flew up for the weigh-in yesterday, and we decided to take a day off driving and just came up here for the day and just kind of hung out a little bit. We're staying here at the, I think it's called the Harbor Hotel. We've stayed here a few times, and really nice, cool little area. Man, you walk around, shop a little bit, look at the river. Saw some Major League Fishing guys roll by today, so that was kind of cool. So it's a neat little town. We like it.
Oh, Clayton's the best, man. Where's your boat? I got to ask you that. Where's your boat at?
we I left it at Lake Oneida.
Are you hoping somebody steals it?
Yeah, it'll be all right. It's pretty safe where it is. There's a kind of a little fenced-in farm area. We know some family friends that we have up here that we've stayed with several times, and we usually we leave it parked there multiple times, usually throughout the year, and fly home in between events, especially like northern swings and stuff. So,
are you gonna leave it in between now and the St. Lawrence River? Because I don't see you being without a boat down here for that long.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's what I figured.
I kind of, I typically fish best when I'm fishing a lot, so I really don't need to take 4 weeks off fishing and not be doing any kind of fishing. So I'm going to take it home with me for sure.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You're coming home to really sucky fishing. I would just stay up there.
I know it. That's what I've heard. It's actually I'm actually kind of cold up here. I kind of I have goosebumps sitting here.
Just stop.
And I've heard that that's going to go away when I get home tomorrow.
When you get to about Ohio, that shit's going to disappear. Trust me, buddy, because it was about 137 here today. I'm pretty sure.
Great.
It's ridiculous with a 3,000% humidity. Actually, I'll take that back. We had some major storms last night, like craziest lightning I think I've ever seen in my whole life, for real. And it did cool off a little bit. I think it's supposed to be in like mid to upper 80s this week. But truly, we've had heat index. I mean, and I know your pops has probably been filling you in on it. But it's been like over 100 heat index every day. And it's not, you can't walk to the mailbox without being soaked by the time you get back, I'll promise you.
Nice. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, I talked to BK, Brad Knight, shout out Brad, who made the title championship up there for Major League Fishing Big 5 MLFLW. And he texted me, he's like, it's 52 degrees here this morning. I'm freezing. I'm like, get out of here with that crap, man. He texted me, he's like, I got a hoodie on. I'm so cold. I hate you.
Oh, yeah. He did his job this week. We talked about it.
He did.
Over, man. He was real worried. He told me, he said multiple times, he said, man, I've envisioned catching like 17, 18 pounds the first day and catching like 2 on day 2. It just totally falling on my face. He told me that probably 10 or 12 times going up there.
He told me that the day before the damn tournament, and I was like, Brad, you got to get over that now. Like right now.
He called me the first morning. It was like 9 o'clock. He said, they're biting a little bit. I've had like 20 pounds on a chatterbait, and I'm just really worried about it.
Yeah, that sounds like Brad. I tell you what, it sounds like your little lying self. I told, here we go. I'm going to put you on blast right here on the hook right here. LBL, I told my family we were watching you weigh in yesterday. I said, he's a liar. He's like, I didn't have any bites of price. I said, liar. He's a liar. He said, my best tournaments, Mr. Bose, my best tournaments are when I don't catch any in practice. I said, liar. He's just saying that for all the times he's lied to us over the years.
Yeah.
What say you, Sammy?
That's my excuse every time. Right?
Yeah, I hear you.
That's my alibi.
My favorite Sam George story is you catching like 37 pounds the first day at Rayburn, whatever in the hell they weighed, and you're like, yeah, man, I had like 1 5-pounder in practice. You caught 2 10s the first day or something. He pulls up, and I'm like, I had like 3 fish. And I was like, Sam, do not come back to the house tonight.
I think I was the most surprised out of anybody.
It was awesome. That's what it was. It was incredible.
It was fun. That was not expected to happen. When I had my first bite, I thought, dang, that's more than what I thought I was going to catch with 5 all day. I can relax now.
That was a brutal tournament for some people. That's for sure. One of the guy you're talking to. So talk about Oneida, man. I want to talk to you about the Opens. I want to get your opinion on some stuff about the Opens, but talk about Oneida coming out of practice. Because you had a shot, dude, and you sent me a text last night, and I hope you don't care for me sharing this, but it gutted me for you because I know how hard you work. I know how great of a fisherman you are. I know how many times you've been right there. You were there at Champlain. You had a legitimate shot at Rayburn that year. Kind of goes away from you. And then this one, I told my dad the night before, I was like, Sammy's going to win. I said, like, I think when you told me what you were doing, some of the adjustments you had made on day 2, I'm like, I think Sammy's going to win. Coming out of practice, did you think that was the you had a chance?
Absolutely not. Like, if you had given me the option, I mean, man, because if you've talked about the Opens on here, I mean, and anybody that follows it, I mean, you know that you can't afford a bomb in one of those. And I mean, really and truly, I mean, I told people at home, if you'd have given me a 50th or 60th place, I wouldn't have even showed up on day one and just gone home. I mean, it was that bad. And I mean, you know, there's everybody says, you know, be positive, be positive, be positive. But man, I mean, when you're trying to like get to that level and, you know, truly make decisions for your career, I mean, there's what I like to call business decisions where you somewhat have to back up and punt. And, you know, sometimes you have tournaments where you just have to get all you can get because you know that, you know, bad ones are coming. You just have to try to get through it with the best you can do. And I really thought that's what it was going to be. You know, I thought it was going to be one where, you know, just capitalize on everything. You know, when I had a bite, it was, you know, typically a big one. But, I mean, I literally, the best day I had in practice was 3 bites in a day. Like, that was it. And I'm not talking like, oh, I pull up, catch one my first drop, and leave. I mean, I'm talking like
fish.
I would get on stretches for miles. I mean, put the trolling motor down and not pick it up for 2 or 3 hours.
Jeez.
And get like one bite. I mean, I'd throw a jerk bait down, you know, like 1 mile stretches, you know, and not get a bite. And just totally wasn't, you know, expecting any kind of good finish. I mean, I was just going to try to catch everything. And I talked to Swindle the night before the tournament, and I told him, you know, all I know else to do is basically, you know, smallmouth fish till the sun gets up and then skip every dock on the lake and just try to catch, you know, 10 or 11 pounds of largemouth. And that's how tough I really felt like it was. And, you know, the first bite I had that morning was, you know, right off the bat, but he was like, I think 15 ounces on my scale. And I thought, great, we're not going to zero.
Here we go, yeah.
And caught another little one real quick. And, man, the wind was blowing, God was blowing. And
yeah, the pictures look brutal.
Yeah, it was blowing. And, man, I really just didn't have a lot of options fishing-wise. The few places that, you know, I thought I could catch 1 or 2 were really specific, you know, little bitty deals that, you know, weren't things that, you know, you could really fish in that kind of wind. And I just made the right decision. I put myself in an area of the lake that I have a lot of history in and have a lot of confidence in, but it's a big area that I was able to kind of drift around with and make the most out of the weather conditions. And, you know, I think it was like 1 bite an hour is what it averaged out to be. But like when I swung on one, it was, you know, like 3 to 3 3/4 pounds, like every time.
Which is gold there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first day, I mean, I caught them slow and steady, and where I did the rest of my damage, I basically was coming back from that area. I mean, I had 15, 16 pounds and was pretty happy with it. And there was one place, it was a kind of just a deeper flat. Had a, you know, decent line of grass, but it wasn't really just it was really like slow tapering. It's kind of hard to explain, but it kind of had some little isolated clumps on it. But on the outside of it, there were a few little hard spots. And in practice, I'd seen some cormorants diving on it one evening, and went over there. And I mean, it wasn't like, you know, you pull up and just catch them. I mean, I could see some, you know, fish on live scope and stuff like that. Wouldn't bite. And like, I don't know, probably after 20 or 30 minutes, one of them bit, but it was like a 3.5 pounder.
Wow.
And so, you know, basically right at the end of day one, I pulled over there and, you know, immediately shut down, and on 2D, I could see them everywhere, and turned around and, I mean, caught them every cast for like 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Probably 5 or 6 times.
No kidding.
I had to go, and I thought that was kind of...
You're like, I got them now.
I kind of, you know, I got up to about 18, and I thought, you know, that kind of surprised me. And, kind of got me a little interested in what was going to come for the week.
No doubt about it. Well, dude, going back to, and I jumped all over the place like I normally do, but day 3, you got a chance. I was keeping up on Bass Track. My kids could have been playing in traffic for all I know, because I was just glued to Bass Track and the blog and trying to find out what my little buddy Sammy was doing. And you came up short, and you texted me and you told me that you actually cried. Like you were that shook, that upset because you had the opportunity, you had the fish on to win. And to me, dude, that speaks volumes about our sport, in that you put your life into it, but what the classic means.
Yeah.
And a win.
And that's what, it was really weird, man. We do what we do. I mean, at the end of the day, we fish because we love it. I mean, there's a handful of guys make a lot of money doing it. There's a lot of guys that make a decent living doing it, and there's a lot of guys that make no money doing it. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's just a outlet for your competitive side. And I'm just a guy, man. I just like fishing, and I've always loved the competition of it and everything. But when it at the beginning of the week, it was kind of weird how it transitioned, and you almost. I've had it happen before, but like this week was the first time that you deep down, like I really felt like it was fixing to happen.
You want it, and you feel like it's your time almost.
Yeah, and you basically the money, everything. Like if you'd have told me, like I wouldn't have even cared if you wrote a paycheck for winning. Like my focus totally shifted to everything you've ever done. Walking ponds in your hometown, walking the riverbanks with your buddies, like hopping from golf course ponds to creek fishing. I mean, everything that you've ever done bass fishing wise came down to the next basically 8 hours on the lake is going to put you on the biggest stage in bass fishing. And
that gives me chills.
And so, and it didn't like freak me out, but it was just kind of a realization, and it totally, that's all that mattered at that moment. I didn't care about the money, didn't care about any of it. That's all. I mean, that was all that I was focused on.
So when it didn't happen, and everybody talks about lost fish, you said it on stage, everybody loses them. Everybody's going to lose them. But when you're in that position to win, losing those big ones, just it's everything. I mean, it's everything. And you said it best. You're like, when it's your time, it's your time. And I think that is how you got to look at it. So with that, I mean, hearing your passion, like I'm lucky to know you personally, known you since you were a kid. Hell, you're still a kid. I'm old as dirt, but dude, you've always been that way. You've been such a, like, you made me at times more enthusiastic about bass fishing, and I don't need a lot of help in that department most of the time because I'm just obsessed with it. But you truly, man, you've always had a passion since you were a young kid, and everything in your life has kind of been tailored to getting you to the Elite Series, getting you to the Classic. I mean, your parents have supported you. Like, you were homeschooled, you worked on the farm, you busted your hind end working on the family farm, but like, so you can fish tournaments though, right? I mean, that's a fair way to put it. Like your folks are like, hey, we could pay for him an education, but shit, we'd rather him be doing this. And like, it's so cool to see now. You've missed the Elite Series, what, 2 times?
I've had I think a 6th in the points, like a 9th and like a 12th, I think.
You've been close so many times, and now you're creeping up on it again. Where are you in the overall? Is it 8th place, or have they updated it?
8th or 9th, I think.
Okay.
I haven't looked since yesterday.
Okay.
Right there, I think.
Is that your best chance is through the overalls?
I would say, and then I think I'm in like, I want to say 8th or 9th in the Southerns as well.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
And you guys have one more to go.
I don't really keep track of it.
So you got, well, that's all you can do is fish and see where it all falls at the end of the deal and wait on a phone call from somebody, right? I mean, that's all you can do. Now you've got 4 total left, if my math is correct. 1 Northern, 1 Southern, 2 Centrals. if you were to make it, are you going to the elites?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that's the end goal, obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's really, man. I've fished several different things, and man, really at the end of the day, it's just what I've always wanted. It's not a politics thing. It's not a, there's really the only reason, that I want to do that is because in my eyes, it's always been the biggest stage in bass fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And, those blue trophies, the classic, it's really, really always, just kind of been what was in my focus growing up. That's what I grew up watching. That's, standing on the classic stage. I mean, that's just what, you always envision. I mean, it's the reason you drive thousands of miles every year. I mean, that's what draws you to it. And, I definitely, if I was given that opportunity, there wouldn't be a single doubt in my mind about taking it.
So even in a year like you're scheduled to have a pretty big year, obviously doing well in the Opens, have a chance at making the elites, got to close it out in 4 more tournaments, but you're also in December, you're getting married.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no big deal. You could potentially make the Elite Series and start a marriage at the same time. What could go wrong, Sammy?
Yeah. Well, she luckily she kind of, the fishing thing was around before
That's
she
right.
was around.
That's right.
She kind of knew what she was getting into. But
yeah, she did.
I think she would like it just as much as I would.
That's a fact.
She's been really supportive of it. I mean, she flew up here. She was watching just as much as anybody. I mean, it teamwork makes the dream work.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
There's a lot of successful guys on the lake that have really supportive wives and families. I mean, there's not a lot of guys out there that are successful that are just single guys, rolling around, not doing nothing, just kind of.
That stability helps, man. That stability's huge.
I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean.
I know. Yeah, it helps. It helps.
Building a brand.
No doubt.
Everything, like Van Dam and Iconelli and all them. I mean, they're all.
Gerald and Leanne. There's so many.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great example. Gerald and Leanne. I mean, they're, without one, like there's hardly one without the other.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And,
that's right.
So it helps having somebody that kind of understands it. Pushes you to the best of your abilities and is there on the good days and there on the bad ones.
Man, she must be sitting with you in the truck.
She's actually inside taking a quiz right now that she better pass because she's got about 1 year left or 1 semester left.
I was gonna say she's getting close.
School.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I told her, I said, I'm going to the truck. You better pass. We're not doing an extra semester.
No more extra semesters. All right, I'm gonna hit you with one more thing because I promised you I'd get you in and out so you could go up there and have your honeymoon up there in Thousand Islands. Dang it, I'm jealous of your location in life right now. Dude, I opened the show. I was talking about this, and this is one, and I want your opinion because I call the Opens bass fishing purgatory because they can be, and you know what I mean by that. Like, it is a damn grind. It's a lot of money. The payouts aren't great, right? But you have to get through that gauntlet to get to the next level. So many guys. I use a guy like Josh Douglas, for example, for a lot of years. You know Dougie well, like I do. Dude, he's a great fisherman. He's been out there just putting in the work. Joey Nanai. So many guys that have been out there that just can't have that perfect season because, like you said, you said you can't have a bad event. I do not believe you can have a bad day in the Opens and make the elites. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying. Absolutely. That you can't have one bad day. Like, I look at my finish at Pickwick in 60th, and I'm not trying to make the Elite Series. But I look at that, and I'm like, you're done. If you're only fishing one division, you have a 60th out of 225 boats. Done. It's a wrap. It's so hard. I mean, you would have to have like 2 top 3s to even, and then you're still not making it. I don't believe. Just from years and years of watching it. But, dude, I was talking about this in regards to the pro circuit. Okay, so it's the feeder system for Bass Pro Tour. And out of their top 10 in AOI, 5 of the guys were BPT guys. But it's how you qualify for BPT. So my question is this. It's the same with the Opens. Like right now, you look at Polinick. He's leading the Northern points. But I know Bass calls down the list if there's already elite guys. But do you think, and this isn't, I'm not trying to make this a loaded question, but do you think that those guys should fish those events?
Like as far as Elite Series guys?
Yeah, Elite Series guys in the Opens or those BPT guys in that pro circuit. You're trying to qualify to fish their trail, but they're fishing your trail to try to make extra money. That's what I'm getting at. And I'm kind of indifferent on it. I just want an angler's opinion.
Yeah, I see both sides of it, man. Like, here, well, I mean, we'll talk about this side of it for a minute. I kind of like it because, like, for example, this was pretty funny because this actually happened 10 minutes ago. I got on the elevator to come down here for this phone call, and the guy looked at my hat. I had a TH Marine hat. He said, "Are you a fisherman?" I said, "Yeah, we just had a tournament at Lake Oneida." He said, "Really? I was watching that." He said, "Where'd you finish?" I said, "Third." He said, "Ha, you beat Iaconelli."
Okay. But Iaconelli, not currently an Elite Series guy, though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like he's doing his thing. But I get what you're saying. It's a matter of pride beating those guys.
Well, yes, but man, like at the end of the day, Iaconelli's not an elite guy right now, but he's
the man.
Elite level fisherman.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Currently, I think he's in first or second points, third for points. I don't know. But like for me, trying to make it when you have events like this week and previous events where you're, consistently competing with those guys, for me, that is a confidence booster because I feel like I can compete at that level.
Yeah, I get it.
When I was looking around at weigh-in yesterday, I mean, we had Porosnik, Polinick, Iaconelli. I think I'm missing one more. Who else am I missing? There was somebody else, I feel like. But, I mean, there's, a lot of money won between those 3 or 4 guys.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
They're some of the best, especially when it comes to smallmouth northern waters. And when you're sitting there around them and, you're like, man, I just beat, like, some of the Muhammad Alis of bass fishing.
No doubt.
And so, to me, I don't mind it, just from a confidence deal. Now, there are factors that I could see, being a thing, like, for example, we'll just pretend Iaconelli was still an Elite Series fisherman, and we were sharing the same area this week. And, in a way, we definitely probably took the chance of winning away from each other. Mm-hmm. And that indeed at the end of the year or at the end of the season can affect points. Not necessarily, even if say he was qualified, at the end of the day, that can affect my points.
And your pocketbook too, your bank account.
Which and that's not the scenario right now.
Yeah, of course.
Just
I brought that up talking about the pro circuit, like Michael Neal, Skeet Reese, Justin Lucas, like those dudes are finding juice, right? So if you're a pro circuit guy and they're not in the event and you find that juice, you know what I'm getting at? Like it's just exactly what you're saying. Like that essentially takes you out of being able to win because you're splitting it up.
Yeah, and so like you do kind of have scenarios like that. We kind of had a scenario like that last year on the pro circuit where, with COVID and everything, there was some damage control, and business decisions being made where, we had to combine some stuff and, which I understand, but at the end of the day, when we had, 10 or 12 guys on one community hole and, half of them are, Bass Pro Tour guys and the other half are FLW guys, that affects a lot of season outcomes.
No doubt.
And
they couldn't make y'all's championship last year. They couldn't make the championship, but they can this year, which is weird, I feel like.
I can understand last year not making it. This year, I guess, because of them fishing the full season.
The whole thing.
It's understandable. But, man, I see all aspects of it. I don't really, have a direct opinion about it.
You don't lose sleep over it.
I don't. Like it didn't this week in my scenario. It didn't affect me. The Bill Perkins that won, he's a local here. AJ Sligona, he lives right down the road. I mean, in my head, I beat everybody that was on that elite level, and the two guys that it wasn't like I lost to a current Elite Series guy, and I don't have any bad blood about it. I mean, I love seeing, like Bill Perkins, he's a real nice guy. I talked to him after weigh-in. I have no bad feelings towards that. He was only fishing, I think, this one event. He lives here. I mean, congratulations to him. He earned it. AJ Sligona, he fished the tour a couple of years.
Good fisherman. Yeah, good
golly,
fisherman.
Smallmouth hammer. He did his job this week too. I mean, and so in my eyes, as far as like Elite Series guys coming down and fishing them, I have no problem with it because it doesn't matter to me. When you go to a lake, it doesn't matter. How many top level guys there are, how many low level guys there are. When you put a certain amount of number, or a certain amount of anglers on the water, there's a number that it's going to take to win a tournament.
No doubt.
No matter what it is, that number is what you have to hit.
That lake's going to give it up, right?
Exactly.
That's it.
It's just how it's what a lake can support. So if you have a big event, there's going to be a number that you have to hit to win that event, no matter who's fishing it. And if you do your job, it doesn't matter who's in the tournament. If you do your job and beat the lake, it'll be all right.
That's awesome. That's a good way to look at it, even in local tournaments. Guys that gripe and complain about, quote, pros pulling up, Well, if you do your job, right? If you do your job, then you win. Well, Sammy, dude, I could not be more proud of you this week. I know you came up short. You're bummed. I'm bummed for you. But, dude, the future's bright for Sammy George. And I really appreciate you coming on. And it's been a while since you've done LBO. You've done it several times. I think the last time that you did it, we had some fireworks. You remember that?
Sure, yeah.
The night the lights went out in Greenville, South Carolina.
I think there was some Jerry Springer stuff.
There was. It got interesting. There might have been some floating sunglasses that got smashed. I don't know.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Me. But it's been a while. We got to get you back here in the Low Budget Bar and Grill and throw down, buddy, soon. When you get back home, we'll do one.
I'm hoping we do. I hope here in a few weeks. I've been sitting here looking at the St. Lawrence River, itching to get back up here in 3 weeks. I made myself sit through the trophy presentation yesterday and took every bit of it, and wanted to make sure I remembered what that felt like so I could come up here and think about it during practice.
Oh, dude, if anybody can catch them brownings, I know you can. I don't know where you get it from, but we don't catch them like that on that Tennessee River. But you got smallmouth blood in your blood, I'm convinced. Sammy George, you're the man.
I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. Everybody be safe and go catch it.
Yeah, and go follow Sammy George on all social media. Give him heck on there about getting married and being a low lifer. Sammy's an OG low lifer.
Yeah. OG. I was there from the get-go.
That's right. You were. You've been probably on the show other than Brad Knight and John Cox, I think, more than anybody. So
I like it.
I like
another
it.
One soon. I hope with a big trophy.
I hope so too, buddy. We'll bring that thing in here in the bar and grill and set that sucker up.
That's right.
All right, Sam.
All
be
right.
safe up there, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
See you, buddy. Sammy George. Sam George Fishing on Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. He's a good one, man. And I almost got emotional hearing him talk about that, like pond hopping and creek hopping and all that. It's just so true, man. And those tears, like he texted me last night and it really did it. He's like, man, I cried for like several minutes backstage because I just knew I'd blown a chance. And that just speaks volumes to what this sport means to so many of us. Y'all listening, y'all understand that, even if it's your local tournaments, if you're fishing bigger, whatever. Like, man, it just matters. It just matters. And And I hate it for him. But again, like he said, congrats to Bill Perkins, AJ Sagonia. They finished ahead of him there. But Sam, it won't be the last time Sam gets near a trophy, I promise you. I've spent a lot of hours in a boat with Sammy. He's an impressive dude in his 20s and bright future ahead of him. So thanks to him for coming on and talking about those opens with us. All right. I'm going to take you out with Biloxi Blues. Just want to say thanks to each and every one of you. I know I do it every week, but I really mean it. Thanks to all of you that hit the subscribe button. Thanks to every one of you that sends me messages saying, hey, thank you, or comments, thank you for making this content. I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it because I enjoy it, right? And knowing that other people enjoy it as well, it means everything. It's awesome. So I appreciate. That's all I can say. I'm just appreciative. So grateful for each and every one of you low-lifers. Going to take you out with Biloxi Blues. Don't forget, got some new music out on iTunes as well. If you want to go check that out, me and Shannon Wheeler, the COVID sessions, greatly appreciate that as well. Thank y'all, and I will see y'all next time.
On the Tupelo, I never could make it last. Spanish moss and Civil War ghosts, well, I'm gonna leave them in the past. Any direction, Lord, I'll be fine. It don't matter east or west. North, south, wherever the wind blows, I'm leaving those burdens at rest. This highway, it does not know my name, and I don't care, no, I don't care. Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get